baby. Hi, baby. Welcome to my channel. I am Free Radical. And my window's open. Let me fix that. Okay. My bad. Just trying to air it out when it's warm outside. It's warm outside. Maybe you can tell the sun is shining a little bit more than it could be on a Thursday than it has on previous Thursdays. So yeah, I think for today's stream, first of all, let's talk about the title. Okay, so I titled it, "Would You Tell Me If I Had Booty Do?" For those of you that don't know what booty do is, it's just a short phrase or a short way to uh, identify someone whose stomach sticks out more than their booty do, right? And it happens. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is fat or something is wrong, but I personally don't want my stomach to stick out more than my booty do. Personally, it's just my preference. You know, some people want to be like super muscly, some people want to be like really slim. I don't want to have booty do. So I'm like, looking at my posts for TikTok, which is, just my handstands and reviewing them and like seeing how I can work on them, improve them. And I don't usually use social media, and if I do, I'm definitely not like looking at people's bodies, right? Like I'm looking at like information. My dog has not been eating because I gave her rotisserie chicken a couple days ago, and now she's refusing to eat her dog food. It is entirely my fault. Yeah, so you'll probably hear that. Man, now I forgot what I was talking about. What was I even talking about? Oh well. The point of today's stream is to. Oh, okay, now I remember what I was talking about. Yeah. So now that I've been using socials more, because I'm like looking at the physical body, right? I have to look at like alignment and how things are stacking. And so I'm actually looking at people's bodies and I'm trying to see like, okay, where does it look like they're flexing? Where does it look like they're like sucking in or releasing or whatever it might be, right? And I have been noticing, at least with the examples of the people that are on my page in particular, have perky ass asses in comparison to mine. And it's strange because I have grown up my entire life before big butts were like a thing that people were interested in paying money for. Like I literally mean since like I think like fifth grade is when like someone actually said something to me about it. So maybe that's when it happened. I don't know. But yeah, like my whole life I've had like a big butt, and I think it's just like relative to my body. Like I don't think it's like math. I mean, you guys see me, right? It's not how it used to be because I was like a super athlete my whole life, and now I'm barely stretched. I've stretched like a couple times a week. Um, yeah, but so I'm looking at these people on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like my butt doesn't look anything like that, like at all. I'm just like, I also have, like, and I've told you guys this, which is when I was like, I'm gonna start going back to the gym, and then I did, and then I stopped. But like actual cottage cheese on my legs, like I never noticed that when I am like squeezing my butt, like flexing it, you know, it's not like muscly or it's not like flat or smooth. It's not smooth, and the shape that it is not the shape that it is when it's not like that. And I feel like when other people are flexing their butts, it doesn't look the way mine does. We'll just say that. And so I'm like, damn, like, do I have to start doing booty workouts? Because, like I said, I don't want to grow my butt. Like, I really don't. Especially because my butt to hip ratio is very extreme. And so, like, I usually have to buy, like, a size medium or a size small and then take the waist in so that it fits me. Like, I'm usually in the waist, like, an extra small to a small. Um, but they're not wide enough on the hips for me. So I have to get a bigger size, like one size bigger, to be safe, and then take it in the waist, which thankfully I can sew. But that's always been my concern because it's like I already have a hard time. Like when it comes to pants, oh, I'm basically screwed because doing the waistline on pants is way harder than like skirts or something else like that. But yeah. So now that I've actually looked at it in comparison to other people's, like I said, like I've never even considered thinking about my butt. Like obviously, I think I said I was like I'd like to be able to feel it, like I want it to be engaged. But now I realize why it hasn't been engaged. Because I don't think there's anything back there to help out. You know, I don't think that they can ring in the troops back there. I don't know if there's enough people with service. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I know I've said this before, but I tend to go to the gym more as the weather cools off. And I feel like like I like to go when less people go. I feel like most people go like in the winter, like right after New Year's, and then right before summer because they want to get like their summer bod or whatever. But I feel like now, like the gym starts to calm down because like summer's ending and people are like, okay, like I'm going to be eating a lot soon and stuff like that, so they just kind of fall off. But I like going to the gym when the weather gets cooler as well because the gym I go to, they don't have freaking AC, which ideally is good. Like I like not having AC because I like being warm, but it's like the air is like stale. You know, like it's just like you can almost like this sounds gross, but you can almost taste the other people that are there. You know, like there's because there's not any windows. It's like only a few windows like on this side. Yeah, yeah. I've been paying for this gym membership for almost 2 years now, so I really should use it. I really should. I don't even know how much it costs at this point, but I remember I was getting like a promotional price when I first signed up, and then they were like, "Yeah, you can cancel it in 6 months if you don't want to do it, or we'll just automatically switch you to like this plan." And I didn't promise myself, but I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come back in 6 months if I decide I want to keep it, or I'll know because I won't have shown up." And I was going, so it didn't even occur to me to be like, hey, is there a better deal? And yeah, that's how I got roped in. That's how I got roped in. I need to do something. Like, it can't just be stretching. It can't just be mobility, right? Basically. And I've been trickling in, like, I know I'm not going at the fastest pace. There's like a lot of people that, they start off going to the gym like 3 times a week and they're doing weights and they do that consistently for months. And if you've been following my journey, it was very, very slow. I feel like I was also starting from like a different headspace, especially with like everything else that's been going on. Yeah. So I think for me, it was like if I had just tried to dive in like that without any other sort of like support in the other areas of my life, it would have like overloaded me. I think if you already have like a schedule and like reasons to leave your house and all of that, like it makes it easier. But like if one of your struggles is just like actually leaving your room, like it's gonna be a lot harder than being like, well, I'm already dressed and I'm already going to work, so, I'm going to drive by the gym type shit. Yeah. Or even just, having to be up. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to glamorize, like, having a job, but, like, you guys have seen, like, to me, the schedules and the routines are really, they're like the fallback plan that you don't have to think about, like, the autopilot that I'm always saying you want to have on your car, right? We don't usually use autopilot when we're driving, but sometimes it comes in handy. Yeah. So I gotta add in actual leg days. I don't want to worry about arms because I've been doing handstands, so my shoulders and my arms are getting enough attention. I don't care about any more definition in my arms. I think like a lot of people my age, they start to get like a jiggle right here. I don't really have a jiggle. It does like hang lower over here, but it's because like this is like is like, I don't know if you can see that. It's not like super defined, but like it's not like it's like solid. Not solid. It's very like it doesn't feel like fat basically. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to go to the gym and be like, ooh. But I do have this kettlebell. I have this kettlebell. I found it downstairs. It was like in a shoebox that I hadn't opened in a really long time. I was like, oh, this should be nice. So, yeah, and I have this kettlebell. But I don't think I'm gonna bring my stream to the gym. I don't think I am prepared to be one of those streamers that's like, whatever, I'm just gonna face the camera on me. Although, you know what? You know that now that I think about that, because like I'm a single female that goes to the gym during like strange hours where there is not as many people, so it's not as many eyes on others when something creepy goes down. And there have been times, because I like to do the machines, and there have been times where somebody has come over and like stood behind me, like not directly behind me, although that did happen to me one time where somebody like stood directly behind me and they weren't even like on a machine. But usually they'll like find a machine that's like directly behind me and they'll go on that machine and then they'll like literally not use it. Like every time I'm working, they're done, and every time, you know what I mean? And I'll try and wait for them to start working, and then they won't, and then I'll start, and they'll still be there, and then I'll finish, and they'll be like, so if I have my phone recording, it's facing me, right? It's facing me, then that means if someone comes and stands behind me, they will be on camera. Right? Like, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to capture you doing your workout. It's like, if you're just passing by, you don't have to look my direction. No one's gonna see you. But if you're, like, literally turning to look at me, that's when you would even notice the camera to begin with, right? Like, you'd be like, oh, shit, like, I'm looking at her. And it's fine to look briefly, but, like, if you don't want to be on camera, you're gonna keep it moving, right? You're not gonna just stay there and be like, let me just pretend like I'm taking a water break right here. I don't know, man. So maybe that is a good idea. I have to check to make sure it's okay for me to record inside of my gym. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't pay attention to other people. But I also don't know, like, my gym is, I won't say it's bougie, but, like, the area where I live is not, like, it's not urban. It's not urban. Basically, like, people don't really have a need to use a gym to record. I don't know how else to say that. I live by the beach, okay? I'm very close to the beach. There's so many better places to record your workouts than inside of a dark gym. It's basically what I'm saying. I don't know how else to describe that. At least that's how I look at it. I'm just like, the gym is boring. And I'm not saying my room, this room isn't boring, but it's just like also like symbolic of like, you know, the flow and surrendering to when you have time and not letting obligations like commuting get in your way, or the embarrassment of being in the gym in front of people when you don't feel confident yet. Which is why I kind of got here. Hello, person. Who are you? Hello. I don't. Hey, what does it say? How's it going? Oh, it's going pretty good. How's it going for you? Today I'm doing booty stuff. If you just got here, I was talking about how my butt doesn't look like the other people's butts that are doing handstands. I started to really analyze the way that it looks like they're activating parts of their body, and so it's got me looking at their butts, and I noticed that when they do their handstands, their butt is like this, and when I do my handstand, my butt is like this. And I'm like, wow, like there's definitely something that needs to be addressed here. And I like basically have never really been doing anything with my butt. Like when I go to the gym, I use the machines, you know, that are for butts or for, you know, the lower half of your body. But I haven't been ever really inclined to do that because it makes my hip to waist ratio very drastic, and then my clothes are harder to find, and I have to like alter them, and they don't look as good. But with that being said, I do not want them to look like how it looks right now. I'm willing to alter clothes to avoid the shape that it makes when I do a handstand. Oh my gosh, it sounds hot. I mean, you can see it right now, I'm sure. Like, I'm not forcing it, but like when I'm trying to like, I'm not flexing, but like the resting place in the opposite direction, like I'm not forcing this, the shape is not shaping. The shape isn't shaping, basically. It's not. So, I've decided I need to engage more in my lower half and actually give attention to it, but I'm also going to go to the gym. And I don't know if you got here when I was saying that at that time, but I was thinking about bringing my phone to stream while I'm at the gym so I can catch people looking at me if they happen to be creeping behind me. And then I was like, I don't know if that's legal. I mean, I know you can record inside of gyms. I just don't know if you can record inside of the gym I go to. Oh. I can tell you this. I've never seen a sign that says no recording. That doesn't mean much, but I've never seen a sign. They might just come over you and be like, yo, you signed a contract. Oh, sorry. But yeah, that could be fun, I think. I kind of want to do it. I need to get my legs involved. Obviously, I need to get my butt involved in the program. And it's time, I think. Like, it's been almost a year now. Well, it's been 9 months. It's been 9 months of building a routine. From going from not doing anything every day, like quite literally not doing anything physical, to activating my body once a week, to building routines for my weekly check-in, to adding just a day for stretching, to adding just a day for mobility, and adding Thursdays for specialties. And now I'm able to identify what's next, which of course is going to be leg day. Leg and booty day. Honestly, bottom half day for me. I don't know, when people say leg day, are they also including their butt? And they just don't want to say that? Like, the guys don't want to be like, booty day. Because, like, is it just legs? Like, do you do legs, and then you do booty, and then you do core, and then you do arms? Is that how that works? Or do people also, do you know? If you know, type in the chat, because it's like, when you do leg day, if you do work out, or if you know anything about working out. Because like I said, I'm free balling all of this. This is just me combining all of my knowledge and creating something that feels organic. But if you know what leg day includes, I don't know if you can, if you know. Maybe you can ask AI. I should turn on something on my computer so there's actual sound. Let me do that. I think that's why I'm yapping. But that is a question. I'll Google it. I'll Google it when. Dude, her stomach is going off. I'll Google it when I'm done here. I guess I could ask something. Okay, here we go. I'm going to YouTube. Okay, yes, leg day does include glutes. So all of these guys out here just don't want to call it booty day. I want to call it booty day. Why not? Is there another way to say that? Oh my gosh, you guys! It could be called hump day, and I could do it on Wednesdays. That's perfect! Oh my gosh! Yes! Wow, I know that I sound so corny, but I am so excited about this. I can't believe I know it's not that creative, but in my mind, because I'm like, what's a little more discreet than booty? And I'm like, oh, okay, like, I don't know, the word hump came into my head, and I was like, oh, that would work, but then I would have to move it to, and then I was like, Wednesday in my head. You guys saw it. Anyways, let me figure out how to. Apparently, I need to do a bunch of new meditations. I've been kind of channeling information about. I will say that like there's a lot of negative energy that has been projected directly towards me that I've never like addressed. Like, you know, some people call it like avoidant or whatever, but it's just like I've never addressed it. And so as far as like energy and what surrounds you is concerned, like that is still like a looming cloud, right? Like somebody's throwing a bunch of paper at you when you're sitting at your desk. Like you might ignore the paper, but at the end of the day, like the paper's still gonna be on the floor. And I just never, like, I'm just like, whatever, like, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna walk away, and that will be that. Like, I'm not gonna. But I haven't cleared the energy out from those attacks, those energy attacks, right? So basically, I feel like, I feel like there's some way I need to do, like, a clearing, you know, and not even like sage, right? Like that's like a daily like thing, but I feel like, jeez, her stomach's sounding like mine over there. Jeez. Let me just type this in because I can't think and type at the same time, or talk and type. You guys know that letters get very hard for me to process. Really easy. Really easy. Okay. This one says positive. Oh, this is that yoga. Ooh, look at my body. It's like, all right, let's get in it. All right. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about for a second there. But that was nice. Whatever that tone was very nice. It like instantly made me feel. You guys saw it. Anyway. Oh my gosh, what am I doing right now? I feel like my stream is kind of jumbled. I was talking and then I realized it was super quiet after like 30 minutes. And now my phone just turned itself on without my permission. It literally was on the couch. And I that's not any sort of unusual thing. Oh, hump day. I guess I'm doing booties on Wednesday, yo. Hump day on Wednesday. Hump day will be for building the humps. The lovely lady lumps. Yo, my tatas have been getting bigger. It's very interesting because I'm like, is this a new thing for me, or is this just like a normal time? Because I've also been very bloated. It might just be me bloating, and then once I'm not bloating anymore, that will also go down. I don't know. But right now, I'm like, and for the first time, actually, I'm not going to talk about this because you guys are going to be weird about it. Yeah, I think it's exciting. It's exciting. Oh, I did this side. I did the other side. So yeah, basically just doing a couple of stretches, deeper stretches, but fast. That, like, as in I'm like pushing, I'm not just like slowly resting into it. Which I guess is, hopefully you know what I mean. I'm doing these just to get my body sort of warmed up. I already did stretches on Sunday, I did mobility on Monday, and so now I don't have to move as slow, but I should still be paying attention to make sure that there's nothing that could be creeping up and become a hazard. Yeah, then I'm gonna get into the actual like exercises. What am I doing? I don't know yet. I just know that I need to do stuff for my butt. And I don't think I'm gonna look on my phone for ideas because I only have like 30 minutes or so left. And I want to listen to what my body wants. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, this picture looks cool. Also, you guys know if I pull my phone out, I'm gonna be staring at my phone, trying to figure something out, and I'm gonna waste a lot of time. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just do what feels right, but it's not going to be stretching. It's not going to be mobility. Those things might be included, but specifically today, I am worried about building the booty. Build a booty. Build a booty. That's what I'm gonna do. I can still flex my one cheek. I'll show you guys. I mean, you can see I'm bouncing right now. But I can still flex my butt cheek, so I know there's something to work with. There's nothing harder than trying to engage something that you literally haven't used. It's like, ugh. Like for me, that happens with, well, you guys have seen, like, turning my knees inward. It looks like I'm not even trying. Like I am. I think when I first tried to do it on stream, I was like, oh, that's not a safe way to move. I was like, you shouldn't move your legs in that way. That feels very dangerous. And then I learned that was just my body being like, bitch. Oh my, oh my. Look how far we've come. That was only like 2 months ago. But yeah, look how far we've come, bruh. Actually, that was only 2 months ago. I've made some pretty... They can definitely be better. I don't push myself. I just don't. I do not push myself. I'm not saying I'm like, not trying. I am, but I don't want to make it something that I despise. I don't want to make it something that I burn out on. And that's why I think gradual is the method in my book. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been using my planner. And that is concerning to me because I do not looking back at my planner after like a week or 2 weeks or sometimes 3 and there's like nothing there. I feel like I lost time in my life because my memory not like a lot, but it's kind of like enough to be like, not I don't say go back in time, but just like recollect on your life. Be like, okay, yeah, like just now, I'm like, oh, I've actually come pretty far away. It's like gratifying. So when I look back at my planner, I see nothing. It makes me feel like I didn't do shit. Like I'm like, bitch, you didn't do shit. And then I can't remember if I did anything. And then that's just sad for me. It's spider season. I don't know if you guys have spider season where you live, but I live. Most people would say I live in the forest or the mountains. If you just look at the elevation of the United States, I'm in the forest or the mountains, and it just happens to have a city in certain parts. So when the weather changes, like different bugs and critters will change the their hibernation cycles or whatever. Like you don't have bees in the winter, right? You just don't see them. Or birds, they fly south during the winter. I feel like here, spiders start to move inside. And it's that time. Let's see spiders. But it's also kind of like a really good feeling coming from Australia to know that like no spider will ever be as big as the potential of the spiders. It's like being an American and knowing the possibility of being in a mass shooting as a totally innocent person, and then going somewhere where people are in another country, they're like, it's dangerous here because we have like Italy, we have pickpocketers. Bitch, I'm out here risking my life trying to go to the grocery store where you're telling me somebody might try to swipe me. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so how can I make this a muscle building thing? Now, this is just a good stretch. But this is activating my body. It is. It's just not like weight. So I think this might be a good intro for butt stretches because I do have to do the 2 side lunges, which I think is really good to incorporate. I like to do the front lunges and the back and forth because I think that that's a really good check-in with the legs in the beginning. I don't know if I need to do the sitting one that I start with. I think I always start with the sitting one because I'm just coming in and I'm like, okay, let me just ground myself. No, it's really good to ground yourself before you start, actually. So I have to ground. So I'll come down to the ground. I'm prepping my warm-up for leg day right now. I just decided. So if you're wondering why I'm talking about this and I didn't explain myself, in my head, and I'll do a quick run through at the end of this stream. But right now, I'm mentally preparing myself for my warm-up for leg day on Wednesdays, which are officially going to be called hump days. Hump days, and then, whatever. I might just say like gym day 1 or like something like that to like keep track of like actually how many times I've gone to the gym and not just make it look like I go to the gym all the time because it'll just be 1 day. Okay. Butt cheeks have been warmed up. Legs have been stretched out. Hips have been stretched out a little bit. Let's do. Well, I did do quads a little bit, but you know what? I don't want to do quads on the ground. I think when I start, like, I don't need to be on my shins because I'm gonna be like at the gym and I'm gonna have shoes on and I don't want to have to worry about like sitting on my shoes or anything. So I'm gonna come down here each of these for like 15 to 30 seconds, because again, these aren't stretch day stretches. These are check-in stretches. Make sure everything is okay to go. So we're here, and then from this one, instead of going back, normally I would do this. I'm gonna just come up to. Oh yeah. So it's here, stretching, and then I just literally come up like this. Okay, so now I'm in that sort of side lunge. When I'm like this, then I switch over here and I do this, let's say like 5 times on each side at least, just to make sure, because honestly, when I don't stretch this one out first, this one's really stiff for me. So I'll be back and forth like this for a bit, and then once I'm comfortable, hold in the middle, and then I would say at least 10 of these. You don't want to make yourself like super tired, but you do want to like break yourself in, right? So 10 of those. Is that what I did? Yeah, 10 of those. And then we're back here. Stretch the leg out this way. I would say for this one, maybe just do whatever lunge you feel like you need the most practice with. Because for me, dropping my knee is it's more beneficial for me than to do this one. You know, but some people need this more. I wouldn't worry about doing both, because it's like, then you're just doing a whole routine. But yeah, I like dropping my knee when I do this. Then you can pull back. See, pop back up, and I think that's it. Come back here, walk your hands together, pull this one up. So this is the official quad stretch. The other one, like I said, we're not doing it on the ground. This one, and I like doing this quad stretch, honestly, because it is like a direct quad stretch. And I feel like a lot of the other stretches, and I say this, I'm like, oh, you can stretch more than one thing, you know, at the same time, and then it's more efficient. But I feel like when it comes to my quads, because my quads they need a lot of work, and I didn't know that, so I haven't been giving them attention as long as I've been giving everything else attention. And so I just feel like it's nice to be able to be like, I'm including my quads and I'm focusing on them, because I basically didn't include them for a very long time, and I can tell. So even just having like dedicated moments with my quads right now, I'm like, okay, I can really feel myself like engaging, and I can feel like this side is engaged, this side, there's like not much there. So if flexors need some attention as well, I at least try to work on those. That's where we send. Oh. Okay, so those are all of my parts of my leg are cracking right now. I'm very happy with this. So that's the warm up for the legs. I just built that. Yo, I'm so glad I streamed this, because y'all just watch me build and decide. That's exactly how my brain works. Okay, so I basically. Oh my gosh, I'm sure you heard that too. It feels so nice. My whole body is waking up on stream from doing this. I love streaming sometimes. It's like, you know, when you say something really when you have a bar, like you have a mad bar, and then you're like, damn, no one was even there to hear that. And I think that's why Twitter's nice, but like sometimes by the time you try to think about it, you can't tweet it, or like it's not something you should tweet. I don't know. When I'm on Twitch, like I'm saying this, I'm building this routine, all of this is in my head, and there's a large, it's very, very likely that I would forget chunks of this, or not be able to even identify like how I ended up developing the routine. And now you're watching it organically form, and this is just the beginning, right? Once I actually get this theory into the gym, who knows if I'm gonna keep it or will need to modify it. Alright, I think that's good. Again, I did do a little arms, just doing those downward dogs and things like that, so it's not like my arms are, if you want to warm up your arms more, you can. I'm not focusing on them. So one thing I know for sure I want to do that is an old staple is the block lunge. So the block lunge, and again, this might not be the easiest or the best or the most effective, but I'm doing what I know off the top of my head just to test and see today. So first I'll do it without the bell, but if I have the ability to, and this is a 20-pound bell. It's the only, like I said, I just found it downstairs, so I don't know. But if you can do this comfortably and you're stable enough, right? This is where Mobility Monday comes into play. If you're stable enough and you feel comfortable doing these motions, that's when you add in the weight. So you don't want to just be like, oh, I'm supposed to be lifting weights today, and then you grab 20 pounds because you're like, 20 pounds is pretty light, and then you try to do it and you hurt yourself. Make sure you can do the motion before you start adding in weight. So I'm going to do that right now. Just identify where I want to go. Make sure my alignment is correct. Right? So this is the motion. Keep a 90-degree angle with my front leg, and then bring my back knee down. Right? And then I would switch. Come this way. Oh my gosh, you hear all that activating? Wow, I'm so proud of myself right now. This feels really nice. Wow. It's almost like fireworks. This feels so nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Okay. So those were the deep lunges. I don't know what these are called. I'll look it up. I like the way that felt just now. Like I said, it might not be the safest way. It's just the way I remember doing it. I know there's different ways you can go about this. There's different ways you can place your legs. So that is checking in with the motions without the weights. I could feel it in my quad. I could feel it in my butt. So it's going. Now I'm going to try it with the weight. It is harder. Stays down. Doesn't switch to the opposite side right away. I could, but I'm doing more than one rep, which brings me to my next phase. How many reps am I going to do? How many reps? Am I 2 rep or 3 rep? I don't do more than 3. I think 3 is excessive when you go to the gym, because at least for me, like I'll do like 15 to 20 or something. So if I'm sitting there for 3 reps, that's just rude, I think. Okay. Here we go. do a quick review of that just now. It's definitely harder with the weight. 20 pounds feels decent for me because I was able to notice it. But it wasn't so much that I felt like I had to overcompensate for balancing the weight. And I think that's important. You don't want the weight to make your alignment go off. So yeah, that was nice. But when I'm doing it, at least that time, I felt it more in my quads than in my butt specifically. And maybe that's because my quads, like I said, haven't been getting a lot of attention either. This is a realization of an area I want to look at now. Or not now, but when I get a chance on my phone. How I can do one of these lunges that targets my glute the most. I still want to do the one I just did. I still want to do the one I just did. Like, see how it's not like bubbly? I don't want to draw too much attention to it because it'll be like, I do see it. And I'm like, let me turn this way for a second. Okay. This next one, again, is one that I've already been doing for mobility. So it goes from getting this stretch in, nice and comfortable, took me a minute, to coming up. Either you can come up like this all the way, or you can come up like this. When I've been doing it like this because I'm really focusing on like the deep hip aspect of it, and because my hands are free. But once I add the weight in, right, I can't use my hands anymore. So you can decide if you want to come up like this, or if you want to come up like this. Felt like the deeper squat when I was coming all the way up was for sure targeting my butt, and I could feel it like on the outsides, which is good. I do want to work on my whole butt, but again, in particular, I'm trying to do something with this lower half. So, still thinking, what sort of thing could I add weights to that would give me more attention to my butt? Okay, yeah, this one's good. So this is different than the deep lunge I was doing. It was like this. So I was coming out. I was bringing my knee all the way down and basically keeping a 90. Bringing this one down to 90 and then coming back up to a diagonal, or reaching a diagonal. For this one, I'm going to worry about my back leg and the placement of the ball of my foot for my back leg. So my toe is on the ground, but the rest of my foot is up off the ground. And wait, am I doing this right? Then, I don't know how to describe this. How do I describe it? I guess you would need two. You would need two of these. Because having just one kind of sets me off balance. Although maybe that just makes this leg stronger. I don't know. Does that just make this leg stronger? Because this is the leg that's getting the workout. This is the one where butt I feel. So maybe that's okay. So what I did again, I'm going to just do it here. Switching legs now, so also switch the weight. So kind of like doing one of those like I don't want to make a name for it, but you see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm like this, and then I'm just dipping my heel. You can see that? It's like all in the ball of my foot. It's almost like if you've ever ran track, or if you've ever like been in a race where you like did just like say on your mark and set go. Most of us did that when we were a kid. It's like that part where you're like ready and then your foot comes up and then you push. That's what I'm doing on this foot. So I'm like pushing. This leg is moving because this one is. I'm not pulling this one forward. I'm lifting this one up. So because I'm lifting this one up, this half of my leg is engaged, which is why I was like, it's probably okay that I have this on this side, because this is the side that's doing the work, right? And I can feel this in the spaces. Well, I still feel it here. Maybe this is an indicator that this is like dead space that has been craving attention. Because for me at least, the more I notice something, the weaker it is, right? Like if my stomach's really strong, I'm not going to notice that I did a bunch of crunches. But if it's weak, a bunch of crunches are going to hurt forever. So right now, like the sides of my butt feel like they're getting the most work out of everything I just did. I almost felt it every time. But for this one, which again was just like that gas pedal right before you start a race, or while you're running, oh, that lunges you forward. I feel it in the space where I want to feel it, which is down here, but I still really greatly feel it right here. Also, remembering that everything is connected, there's a good chance that the reason why this part isn't the shape I want it to be is because this part has to put in the work to lift it, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at an anatomy book in over almost 20 years now. What year is it? Over 15 years. Wait, well that doesn't, I don't know. I wouldn't count what I teach as like a teacher, because that's like the lowest level anatomy. Like we don't get into the intricacies of how everything, like, you know what I mean? I'm not like actually working on cadavers like I was making a lot more. So when you know a lot about anatomy or anything, you can compose in your head how things work, right? Like when you use a phone and you give someone instructions on how to like use an app. Let me sit down. You give someone instructions on like how to use an app, and then if you've used that app a lot, all you have to do is describe the steps. You don't have to look at their phone. So if someone's like, how do I send a text message? And you're like, okay, go on your screen, you know, look for the green box that has like the phone. I don't know if that's what it is. Look for the green box that has a phone. Click on that, type in the phone number, and then go in the message where it says to send, or like type here, type what you want, and then hit send, right? You can walk through that in your head without having to look at the phone, because you've done it that much, you know that much about the app and the phone to give those directions. It's the same with anatomy. It's like you know enough about anatomy and how things are connected. You don't have to look for exercises where someone says to you, like, hey, this is going to help with your bicep or whatever. Like, you could do that, but sometimes people just say that and they're not necessarily right, or sometimes it's something looks like it's going to change something and it doesn't. So I'm saying all this to say, the sides of my butt, the sides of my butt have been engaged throughout most, if not all, of these exercises that I just did. And that lets me know that, one, what I'm doing is helping target my butt overall. But two, there might be a bigger weakness in those areas specifically that is going to impact or has been impacting areas that I want to change. So I'm going to investigate that more, because I can't remember off the top of my head how things are connected and how it might be either taking away or either just not targeting the area that I actually want to target. So I do have a target area. Like, it's nice to want to make everything look good, but I also like the idea of focusing on something specific so I can watch the growth and I can really see my methods, like applying them rather than be like, oh, I did this, and like, wasn't this that didn't work? You know, we also worked on this. Not saying I won't do the other stuff, but that is one area that I can, like, okay, this part of my body specifically, not my lower half. Hump day is alive. Hump day is, what is the word? Hump day has been conceived. Okay? So I'm going to do actually one more run through of what I just did because I also want to have this recorded. I'm probably going to do like a clip or a highlight of this since this is going to be the first time I'm doing warm up for a leg day, or sorry, warm up for a hump day. And the warm up for the hump day is going to be what I do in the gym when I go to the gym specifically to work on my humps. Okay. And I do not know if I'll be able to stream or not in the gym, so that's TBD. But for now, I want to have this warm up recorded so that if you're wondering what I do when I get to the gym, or if you are wanting to start this now, you can have it. So, the beginning, I decided I am going to be sitting on the mat in the gym. I don't want to get too cozy because I'm going to have my shoes on, but I want to still ground myself because, you know, running in from the gym is a little stressful. So kind of ground myself here, about 15 to 30 seconds for each of these stretches. Because you're just checking in. You don't want to spend like longer than like 5. I wouldn't even, like 10 minutes is a really long time to do stretches in the gym, in my opinion, because you should have already been stretching throughout the week. In which case, it's not the first time you've been like working with your body that week. But yeah, so holding here 15 to 30 seconds on this side, and then 15 to 30 seconds on this side, and then we come up like this to the side lunge, and then we go to another side. This one here, I think it was like 10 to 15 of these, and then over here, twist, and then we switch sides over here, twist, and then we came down here, dropped the knee, we did pulses of these, right? Is that how it went? Or no, I came down like this. Yeah. And then I come over like this. And then a couple of pulses. Check in. Up, quad stretch, specifically targeting quad and quad only. This is something I need to do for myself. You don't have to spend targeted time on the quads. If you want to do this on the ground, you can. Down here, right? And I feel like there was a part where I was down on the ground, but I can't remember what it was. Dang. Dang. I'll have to go back and look at it. But that was essentially my warm-up for legs, or my warm-up for hump day, okay? So the warm-up is specifically for hump day. It's not for stretching Sundays. It's not for mobility Mondays. It's not for body things Thursday. It's just a very quick warm-up because you are going to be going to the gym or doing a specific activity where you're going to have more pressure, like weight or resistance on your activities. And I do recommend that you stretch a little bit afterwards. You can do the same thing again, or you can do something a little more relaxing like yoga. hump day at the gym. That's the new schedule. So now I'm going to have 4 days a week of working out or doing exercises. It's getting there. 4 days a week is a lot, right? Do most people go to the gym 4 days a week? I don't know. It feels like a lot to me. It's more than half the week, right? So yeah, I'm getting there. Hopefully you're getting there too. Hopefully, like I said, do what you need to do at home, like I am, or your own private space if you can get one. Get yourself ready to go to the gym. Get yourself ready to go do that outdoor activity and where people might see you and you might be self-conscious or nervous or feeling a little bit lost, right? Get your body ready before you have to do any of those things so you have the confidence, so you can hear your body, so you know what you are and aren't capable of. You're not second guessing yourself and you're not starting. You are starting from scratch when you're at home, but you know, nobody wants to start riding their bike like on the trail on Mount Rainier. I mean, the worst way to learn how to ride a bike. The worst. It might be pretty, but like, come on now. So yeah, think of that when you go to the gym. Like, it might be nice to go to the gym, it looks real cool and all that. I'm not saying you can't go, but you probably need to at least try to ride your bike in the driveway before you head to Mount Rainier. And then take selfies. I'm not laughing at you. Okay, so that's it today. Alright, so I will be back on Sunday for stretching. If I don't see you on Sunday, I will also be here for Monday for Mobility Monday. And then, like I said, if you are able, I will be doing Why did I do that? Oh my god. That was crazy. That wasn't even like a stutter. Like, I wanted to say hump day, but then I was gonna say Wednesday, but I couldn't speak, so I just went wow. That was like gruel. Anyway, Wednesday will be the first hump day, and I may or may not be able to stream it, so yeah. Until then, mon amis. Au revoir, mes amis.